Hello, hello, hello. It's Julia Miles from The Potential Factor. I'm a communications professional, and as a communications professional, I love writing and I love connecting with people. But I love connecting with people face to face, mainly in one-on-one conversations, because in all honesty, I prefer to hide behind my computer and write. This is my safe place because I feel like when I talk to people, like I'm talking to you now, I stumble over my words and I make a lot of mistakes. And as a stress resilience and confidence trainer and coach, I feel like I'm on show. I feel like I should be more professional, and I feel that when I stumble, I'm a fraud. You might have seen that I've recently been sharing that my new Beat Imposter Syndrome program is coming out now. Well, I thought one of the best ways that I can help other people is if I share some snippets about how imposter syndrome shows up for people. And since about 70% of people experience some form of imposter syndrome at some time of their life, it's actually a really common trait. And it's faced by many, many women. So over a couple of videos, I want to share the common traits of imposter syndrome and give a couple of relatable, easy to do suggestions on how you could start to deal with it. Drum roll, boom, 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 boom. Today, I want to talk about the most common trait, the most common sign of imposter syndrome, the I'm a fraud. I feel like a fraud. If you've ever felt that you don't belong or that you don't feel as capable as others seem to think you are, then you might be experiencing or have felt like that I'm feeling like a fraud trait of imposter syndrome. It often shows up as that nagging, sometimes very loud, persistent feeling like a fraud, even when there's lots of evidence and you've got lots of evidence that we often ignore that shows that we are actually competent. And there are a few ways that this trait shows up. One of the most common ways is you downplaying your achievements. And this is where you tend to attribute your success to luck or external factors, and you downplay your capabilities. Other ways that it shows up is by constantly seeking validation. So it's where you might avoid or you start to hesitate to take on new challenges because you're afraid of failure. Now, if you're not sure whether you're someone who's been avoiding, taking on challenges, whether you're someone who constantly seeks validation, or whether you have a habit of pushing, the good things, your successes aside as luck, ask someone you trust. So if you're not sure, ask someone you trust for their perspective. And if you are lucky enough for them to give you honest feedback, use it to help you see the big picture. Don't take it as personal criticism. So if you now relate to feeling like a fraud, I want to give you 3 tips that can help you to start to overcome this trait. The first is it's really important to challenge that inner critic. You need to start exchanging and replacing self-doubt with self-compassion. And one way to start this is to make a list of all of your achievements, all of your skills, and all of the wonderful things that you've contributed in the world. Get your timer out, set it for 10 minutes, and I want you to write down everything you've done from now back to as far back as you can remember. All the little awards and big awards that you've won, all of the projects that you've completed, all of the people that you have helped, all of the skills you can do in your job or at home. It could be, you make a really mean quiche. All of those things I want you to write down. and breathe those in. Number two is you need to start celebrating you. You've got to start celebrating your successes, your big successes, your small successes. And you can do this by acknowledging your accomplishments and giving yourself credit that you deserve for the hard work that you've put in. Take a moment, and after you've done that list, this is a great time to actually take a moment and reflect on how much work it took you to get there. So for me, I'm going to be celebrating after I finish this video. And I'm going to celebrate again when I've got the courage to put it up there without redoing it. Finally, number three, I want you to practice self-care, and I want you to prioritize your well-being. Now, if you've been around me for any length of time, you know that I bang on a lot about self-care. I really feel self-care is so important. So you need to start setting boundaries in your home life and in your work life. So this means stopping work and not bringing work home, but also calling time on different things at home. Remember, you need to make time for you. So activities that bring you joy, help you relax, and help you build up your energy. Remember that oxygen mask analogy? You can't be there for those around you if you don't start rebuilding your own inner battery. Your worth extends beyond your achievements. So, to all of you beautiful, beautiful people out there who feel like a fraud, I want you to remember you are not alone. There is 70% of the population who go through this at some time. Imposter syndrome can affect anyone, regardless of their achievements, regardless of their status or their position, regardless of who they are and where they're living. By challenging your self-doubts, by celebrating your successes, and by prioritizing your self-care, you can overcome this feeling and you can start to thrive in all areas of your life. You are capable. You are deserving, and you are an incredibly valuable human being. I would love for you to believe in yourself and keep pushing forward. So thank you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening all the way through. Please let me know in the comments if you found any of this helpful. And I would love it if you could give me a love heart to show that you found it useful. And if you did find it useful, or if you know of someone in your world, please, I'd love for you to share this tip. Remember, you are not alone. We are all here. We're all connected, and we're here to support each other. Stay confident, keep shining, and I will see you in the next video.